Hi everyone. It's been a while, so I thought I would just come back and say hi and just talk about a couple things that are kind of on my mind today. Um, I've really been doing a lot of soul searching the last couple of years, just kind of looking at cause and effect and how a lot of maybe things that I was doing to try not to deal with situations only made the situations worse. And I just did a little meditation before this, and I really kind of talked to myself a little bit and realized that basically a big part of my life had been avoiding situations, which is kind of weird. It's kind of weird to think about it in that way. But let me try to break it down for you. So, the confidence level that I might seem to have now, which to me seems a little bit like a facade because I still feel inside like that shy little girl. I really do. Like, it's so hard for me to understand how I can actually do this. I never had confidence as a young child. I didn't dare do public speaking. I barely said boo to most people, which is really weird because when I was young, like a toddler, my mom said that I would pretty much talk all the time. And then something happened, I don't know. It was, I guess I just started to be susceptible to people's opinions of myself. And, you start to be conditioned in such a way that children are basically a product of how they are told to be. Not to say that you can't change that when you're an adult, but let me just remind you of something. Most of the information that's hard-coded in a child is done so by the time they are 5 years old. So if you are hearing, and it's not even the fact that maybe this is what was done, but let's say your interpretation, your perception, what you are getting from people's words or actions, if it is maybe negative or just does not kind of foster self-confidence in a child, that may carry with you through a good part of your life. So with that said, we spend the rest of our adult lives trying to figure out things that if we would just really go back and look at some of this in our youth and maybe how things happened and what was instilled in us, we might be able to figure out how to move through some of these issues as adults. So I was thinking about this and I was like, it's really funny because I look at the last few years, I've really gone through a major transformation, just finding my own voice and embracing my, level of intuition and connectiveness with, other people, trying to offer like the lessons that I'm learning and trying to offer like some sort of peace from what I'm getting, to other people. So I was trying to think about it and I'm like, sometimes it seems like when you try to share things like that people think, oh yeah, she thinks she's just better than everybody. She doesn't really know all this stuff. She's just trying to like, overshare and, offer all kinds of information because that's like the cool thing to do now. And it's like, I really wish that people could be more supportive of one another, because when I was thinking back to like one of the first major milestones in my early 20s that I can think of that helped me to turn my life around and to give me focus and give me drive, It was people believing in me, in my career, and people basically seeing something in me that I could not see in myself. So when you have that support of other people, sometimes, I mean, yeah, other people can definitely bring you down, but they can also really rise you up, because sometimes you need that boost of confidence. You need someone to say, oh my God, yeah, you are so perfect for this, or you just have such a natural ability. And you're like, really? Because I don't really notice that. Sometimes you just need someone else to kind of give you that little push, to give you the confidence to move forward. So basically, that's what I try to do. I know I don't know everything. Like, I'm still learning. I will learn until the moment I breathe my last breath. God willing, that's a while from now, but I just really believe in the power of connectiveness and offering any information that you can to help someone else. So that's what I feel I'm doing. Like, when 2020 was going on and I spent like the majority of time by myself, one of the biggest lessons that I learned was that if I really tuned into my intuition, which was really easy to do because I was always by myself, so I felt like I meditated a lot more and I just really kind of had that quiet time. When I did that, I got these downloads. And so when I would get the downloads, I would understand more about myself. And these downloads aren't necessarily like some kind of like, exciting moment. It's just like I would be in the shower or just, scrolling social media or whatever, and I would see little quotes, or I would just think of something like, Soulshine is a good one. I was just sharing that with my boyfriend because, he and I have been interconnected for several years. And even though we weren't together 2020, one of the things that I was focusing on is how to basically bring positivity and healing to yourself. And Soulshine is a word that sort of came to me out of, I feel like, nowhere, because it was just kind of me searching for like this glittery, positive way of uplifting yourself. So I just love that word. And then ironically, it is the name of a song that basically, to make a long story short, was one of probably his mom's favorite bands. So it just is another way of connecting. There's so many connections to people, whether we're together or not. Your family, your friends, your loved ones, whether they're here or not, you still are connected. You're still always connected, and I try to share what I learn, and I just try to like pass on information, because it's not up for me to figure out if it's like helping someone or, if there's a rhyme or reason to it. Sometimes I relate to it. Sometimes I just kind of think, oh, well, this is a good point, and maybe I'll just share that. Anyway, so that's why I do what I do. But I hope that other people will do that as well. I hope other people will continue to learn and just kind of understand that we're all here for one another. We're all here to kind of share our experiences, hopefully try to help others, try to give people, some kind of peace in their life so that they can figure things out and just live a happy life. Because really, that's what we're all here for, right? I mean, we want to be happy. We don't want to be like, just feeling miserable, like we're struggling every day and everything's a battle. I mean, we want to be able to have a happy life and look back, feel like you've contributed, feel like you're helping, feel like you've positively given back more than you took. And that's what I feel this life is all about. It's about learning, growing, trying to figure out how to bring that bright light into dark places, because God knows. Oh, and isn't that weird? See, that's what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. That is my computer shutting off. But when it shuts off, the light also goes away. So there, it's back now. But ironically, that happened right when I was talking about bringing light to the dark. So again, I just feel like there are so many things that are connected that we don't look at. I mean, another reason why I love nature and I love to share nature is because it's so effortless. You know, I mean, you can go on a walk or a hike or a run or just lay out in a hammock, whatever it is you like to do, but just really get outside and enjoy it because it's there for us. It's such a gift, you know, and it helps to just kind of renew the spirit, you know, to kind of just feel at peace in that oneness of being a part of a bigger thing. You know, our energies are all one. Even though we're in these individual bodies, we are all here together. So another thing I was watching last night, which is the last thing I'll mention, I just kind of wanted to share this like excited energy I had all of a sudden. But another thing that I was watching last night, which is kind of cool, is like a swarm of whatever it was, bees or birds or whatever, deer, you know, whatever it was, just a swarm. And how on this show that I was watching, how stuff in nature, animals, I think they talked about like, I don't know if it was some kind of a amoeba or something like that. Some kind of bacteria maybe. Anyway, these things in nature, not only do they just know what to do, which is kind of crazy, you know, how they just sort of know things, but they all work together. And when things are in a bad spot, like let's say they, you know, they're all hungry, they all need to try to get from here to there, you know, or whatever, they will work together. And how do they know to do that? How do they know? How do they talk to each other and kind of give the signal and say, okay, guys, this is what we need to do? How do they fluidly just stay connected and do all these amazing things like a murmuration, which is just fascinating to me to see the birds do that. How do they know? They just do. They just know to stay connected, to do whatever it is that they need to do to get to the next step. And I just really wish that people could do the same thing. You know, why can't we just work together and try to like help one another instead of constantly finding reasons to be divided, to separate, to find fault with one another? You know, is there really any gain in that? I just feel like it's wasted energy. And instead of like trying to push people down or tell people how to be, let's just all focus on ourselves and be supportive for people who are different than us. I mean, I don't think I'd want to be around people that are constantly like me every day. I mean, what fun would that be? You know, but having someone who can challenge you a little bit, offer you a different perspective, you know, just sort of compliment you. You know, that's where you make progress because, as they say, two heads are better than one. So let's just be thankful for the differences that we have and not constantly try to find fault. I really hope this next year, 2022, is right around the corner, and I really hope that we can try to come together because, you know, ultimately, we are here together for a reason. Otherwise, there'd be like one person on earth trying to figure this stuff all out. I mean, there's a reason why we are all here together. Challenge accepted. Have a happy 2022. Till next time.